Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. So we're going to go ahead and get into the daily message. We have one flying out already. The Seven of Wands. All right. The Empress. Interesting. All right. The Wheel of Fortune. The Two of Wands. Okay. So let's see what we got here so far. All right. So Seven of Wands is, setting healthy boundaries. It could be very, you have to be cautious, though, because setting healthy boundaries can also be on that line of being too defensive, too guarded. So, watch where you're putting your energy, because it is good to have healthy boundaries, but you don't want it to slip into where you're cutting everything off. You're too guarded. You're closing off your heart. The Empress is, trusting that intuition, and bringing things to fruition that you want to have in your life, So, you got to pay attention to where you're putting your attention, what you're focusing on, what you're allowing. The Two of Wands is making that decision. You're at a crossroads. You got to decide which way to go. I feel like there's that fine line of being, too open and compassionate and giving to people that don't have our best interest. That's kind of like that energy where a lot of women, females especially, are supposed to be nice and supposed to smile and supposed to, deal with people in a compassionate way. But it can cross that line of allowing people to take advantage of us, or not having our best interest at heart, right? Or figuring like we need to be taken care of. So you have to be guarded and cautious about that. This is the Wheel of Fortune. So this is like karma. This is also that wheel turning. So a new cycle will begin. So, you have to look at like how you were raised, where you're always told to, be nice and kind to people, even to the point of like where you felt like if you weren't a good person, or that you were allowing people to take advantage of you or not respect you. So on the bottom, we have the Eight of Swords. So this can also cause us to feel like we're trapped, like we feel like we need to be nice to everybody. And if we're not, we're like, let's face it, people, like us women especially, if we are assertive or we stand up for ourselves or we cut somebody off, we're considered a bitch, right? So yeah, so that's that fine line. Just because you're assertive and you set healthy boundaries and you don't allow disrespect in your life does not mean you are a bitch, right? It just means you're a very confident, assertive woman and you take care of yourself. We have the Ten of Cups. See, this brings in your bliss and happiness. You're not going to be happy and fulfilled and take care of your take care of yourself if you're allowing a bunch of crap to come in your life. I apologize, that's nasty, but it's this cold is just not shaking. Take care of yourself, right? So let's see what's on the bottom again. King of Swords. See, yeah, cutting through all that crap, having that healthy boundary set up for yourself. So let's go ahead and get one more card, and then we'll get a couple animal cards, spirit animals, to help us. There we go. The Six of Wands, see? This is that victory and success. So I feel like, when we're told, like, you need to do that. I even know, I kind of get the concept when people look at you and say, smile. I have like a resting bitch face all the time. I'm like, and then I have these darn lines that make me look even grouchier. But I do also know that when I go out into the world, that I've learned over the years to put up healthy boundaries, not allow all that energy in. One, I'm an empath, so it overwhelms me. And two, you don't know what people are like until you get to know them. You just can sometimes have that feeling that people are going to take advantage of you, or they might be acting a certain way, but they're not, right? So, I have that straight-laced face a lot of times. But I used to think that when people would say smile, when I was younger, I used to think, I'd smile because they said it, But, being that nice girl kind of energy, putting out that compassion, being understanding to people. But then I started thinking, like, you're not smiling. Why are you telling me to smile? You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm a girl or a woman or whatever, you don't have to do that, right? So in a way, even though it was a terrible time, masks were a pain, it was kind of nice because you hid that part of yourself, and your eyes are the opening to the soul. But you could hide that. You didn't have to like smile at everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, it is nice to smile, but just to please other people, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense, but let's go ahead and get into this Seven of Swords. Let's get, first let's get a couple of animal cards, and then we'll go ahead and get clarity. All right. Okay, so we have the rabbit. See, sensitive soul. That makes sense. It says strengthen your boundaries and cut cords. Yes. Yes, you don't have to smile and accept everybody, you know? You don't. If it's going to drain your energy or make you unhappy, or if you're just not feeling it, don't. Cut that stuff off. You don't need to put up with that just because you're a sensitive soul. And I'm not just cutting on you men, because there are sensitive men, which is awesome. We all have divine feminine and masculine energy. So if you're a sensitive soul or you're empath, you have to set up those healthy boundaries, especially, or you'll just be drained. It's going to start affecting your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, your physical health even. So you need to set up those healthy boundaries, and you don't have to accept that. You're your own person. You don't need to go along with what everybody says. And if you were told as a young person, even you men, this is even for you guys, if you were told, like, you're not supposed to cry or you're supposed to be this way, let's cut all that old belief system out. We need to be a balanced individual, and we can do what we want, okay? How we feel inside as a soul. We don't have to have these barriers set us up on us, be from issues like, I hope you guys realize that your parents were learning just like we are now. So that's why a lot of times we got to forgive that. And please don't, like, if you went through a lot of trauma, please, this is a different story. I'm just talking about the general stuff, okay? So I do feel for you guys, and I'm not diminishing what happened to you. But what I'm saying here is, like, those boundaries of, like, you got to be this certain way. You're a boy, you're not supposed to be playing with dolls, or you're a girl, you're supposed to be wearing dresses, or whatever. Nowadays they don't wear dresses, but you get my concept, right? So we need to set up those healthy boundaries. We need to put up protection, and we need to be who we are and not allow people to tell us what we need to be, okay? It's got so many people into this damsel in distress that we need a man to take care of us, and that's not a good way to be. And I'm not saying you need to be that aggressive woman, like, I don't need anybody, not that. You need to have that balanced energy, okay? So let's go ahead and get some clarity on this top row. This is for the top row, the Seven of Wands, the Empress, and the Two of Wands. For the Rabbit, the sensitive soul. So let's go ahead and get the Seven of Wands. This guardedness, defensiveness, closed off. Yeah, see? Again, this Eight of Swords wants to come up. What that does is it puts you in a box. It cuts off things. It makes you feel trapped because you can't be who you really want to be. You're playing a role, right? And then when we start playing a role, we can get into depression because that's not who we really are, okay? So we need to cut that off, all right? So let's get this Empress energy. That's how we have to be. Take care of ourselves. Come from an open heart, trust our intuition, be creative. Yeah, look at that, the Hierophant, yes. See, that's that healed energy, that master of our domain, that energy like that. Trusting our traditions, trusting the structure of who we are. And the Two of Wands. Two of Wands, please. Oops, there we go. The Knight of Cups, yeah, see, going out there with that open heart and that compassion, but in a healthy way, with that armor on, protective armor, not closed off armor, right? So, being choosy of what we allow in. And we had another one, which was the Three of Wands. Yeah, see, this isn't going into the future. She's looking out over the horizon and seeing what her future is going to be. Okay, so that's what that energy is. All right, so this bottom row, the Wheel of Fortune, the Ten of Cups, and the Six of Wands, we're going to get a spirit animal. Let's see what comes up with these energies. The Frog, stepping into your power. Love it. Yes. So it says, don't take a back seat in your story. It's time to step up. Yeah. So not putting those labels on us, not letting people put us in a box and telling us how we should be. I kind of feel like, taking that doll and putting up on a shelf and say, you only act a certain way when I want you to. You can only play when I asked you to, So I kind of feel like that energy, we're not little porcelain dolls, right? So let's go ahead and get some energy on this Wheel of Fortune. Strength, yes, see? Standing in our strength. But we can also have that divine feminine energy. We still can be compassionate, loving, sensitive, caring, intuitive, right? Because I feel like women, especially women, we get this stereotype of either like, you have these hardcore feminists that cut off everything and like, yeah, we can do everything. Well, I don't know about you, but I can't lift a washing machine. You know what I'm saying? I just don't have the strength for it. And honestly, I don't want to do it. So I do feel like we need that balance, you know? I'm not one of those women that says, you know, because we do have our differences. Male and female have differences. You got to, I mean, yes, we should be equal, but in separate ways. You know what I'm saying? So that's a gift. We shouldn't all want to be exactly like, I don't get this, you know, please don't come back at me with that negative, but I don't get this why, like, women want to join the Boy Scouts. You already have the Girl Scouts. I mean, it's the same. Why can't we just have, like, togetherness but separate? You know what I'm saying? If you want together, then just do a different group. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think it's pushed a little too far sometimes. But let's see. Let's see what this 10 of Cups is. 6 of Coins. So the 6 of Coins is the 6 of Pentacles. That's that balanced energy. See, we have to have that balance of the divine feminine and divine masculine. We got to have our role in who we are, but who, as we say we are, not what everybody else thinks we should do. You know, not that damsel in distress, not that G.I. Jane aggressive, like, I can do anything the same as you. You know, I don't know. There's got to be a balance. You got to balance that energy out. You know, and kind of tone it down a little bit, not like go be all crazy about it. And I don't know if that makes sense, but let's get our 6 of Wands. You know, honestly, I like sometimes being a feminine energy, you know, being soft and things. And then sometimes I like to be my assertive self. That doesn't mean you have to pick one and stick with it and not be the other. Then we have the High Priestess. See that? Yes, that's that higher self again with the 6 of Wands. High Priestess being your higher self, that balanced energy of feminine, masculine, who you are, not labeled, but just being who you are, you know, because once we start getting into what people think we should be, or we start wearing that mask of pretending that we're a certain way because society tells us we need to be, then we're going to get lost, where our soul is going to be, you know, buried, and then we're going to get into depression. And we don't want that. We want to live a happy, healthy, peaceful, abundant life, okay? And look at this 3 of Coins come out. This is like 3 of Pentacles. This is collaborating with others. So we can collaborate with who we are authentically with others, not wearing a mask. All right, so let's check out the bottom cards. Queen of Wands. Yeah, see, she goes out into the world, she's confident, she knows what she wants, but she's still passionate and caring and giving and a leader, right? Empowered in who she is. And then on the bottom of this one, the Otter. Initiation, to be open through this transitional time. Yeah, so I think to 2023, we're going to be more of our authentic self, and we're not going to apologize for it. We're just going to be who we are, and we're going to set healthy boundaries with the people that don't accept that, right? Or just like, I'm not dealing with you, you know? So I'm going to go ahead and pull a couple cards for some advice. And then we're going to close this reading. All right, now we have the Princess of Wands. You know, that initiation, that new beginning on what we're passionate about, our spirituality, all that, not apologizing, unapologetically, setting intentions for that. 5 of Cups, this could be lack. So this is saying, you're not lacking anything if you don't go along with other people, you know, and also we're going to let go of that lack because, you know, when we are, I'm trying to think how Jim Carrey said it with that depression. It's like your soul saying, you know, you are tired of living a life that's not who you authentically are, trying to be who everybody else wants you to be, and then you get into that depression. So, you know, that causes you lack. So you got to get out of that. And what else? The King of Coins. So the King of Pentacles. This is being grounded, you know, stable, going along your life in a methodical, grounded way. And then on the bottom, we have the Queen of Coins. Look at that. I love it. That's that divine feminine masculine. That's that partnership, right? So, you know, there we go. So our feminine and masculine energies are all grounded and stable and in charge of our life, right? A master of our domain. And we're going to go ahead and get a spirit animal for the advice here. Ooh, the tiger. Love it. So it says, divine timing. good things come to those who wait. So, you know, I feel like this is great timing for us to step into that, all the things that's happened in the world, and coming to realize, you know, what's our priorities and what's important and what life's all about, and standing in that. So it's the best time now to emerge who you really are and let go of that mask that society puts on us, or those belief systems that our past have told us that we need to be. Okay, so I feel like that is our message today. So I hope you have a great weekend. Take care, stay warm, and stay safe. Peace.